keep trying it. It doesn't show up. Then I wait that person that's in the back. I could hear them, but they were like getting an order ready. I guess like over 15 minutes for this person. They come out. She
Yeah.
says, "I'm in there by myself." She's like, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you can." I'm looking for my order, but it's not showing up. She's like, "Oh, that's weird. What's the code?" So I give her the code. She tries to type the code in. She's like, "I don't see the code in my system." And I'm like, "Oh." And then she tries to type the name in. She doesn't see the name in the system, right? So we're like, that's weird because I've been to this place a million times. This is like never happened. So what she's
Yeah.
trying to figure it out. She's like, there has been a problem with Uber Eats system tonight of us sometimes not getting the orders. And I was like, oh. So she tries a couple more things. She can't find it. By this time, 20 minutes has passed. I'm like, yo, it's already like 20 minutes has passed. I'm just gonna have to call to get this order canceled for excessive wait time. So I call support
Yeah.
and I let them know, hey, I've been waiting here for over 20 minutes. When I came here and typed the order in, and this is a virtual store at Steak and Take, it, the order's not here. And I relay this to her exactly like that, right? And I was even filming the ordeal
Yeah.
as well. So I relay that to her, and she's like, "Oh, okay. Let me put you on hold for 5 minutes so I can try to contact the restaurant." Right? So then she puts me on hold for like 7 minutes, comes back over, and she's like, um, well, this is a virtual store, and she starts telling me like she's explaining it to me, and I'm like, I just check it. She's like, now I'm gonna have to try to call the virtual store, because I guess she was looking up steak and take maybe at first. I don't know. So then she calls the restaurant, and she puts me on hold for another like 7 to 8 minutes, right? It was like a pretty long time.
Mm.
Then she comes back over, apologizes for putting me on hold and stuff like that. Then she proceeds to tell me, "Hey, they didn't answer." So I don't know what happened with the order, and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know what it is now." So she was like, "I'm gonna cancel it for something else." I was like, "No, you need to cancel it for excessive wait time. I've been here for almost 30 minutes now." She's like, "Yeah, you're right." So she does something, and then she's like, "Let me put you on hold for 2 minutes." This time she didn't put me on hold for that long. She comes back on. She's like, "Okay, I'm going to need for you to cancel the order through your app." And I'm like, "No, I can't do that." She's like, "Why can't you do that?" I'm like, "That's not policy. Y'all are supposed to cancel it for this issue." Then she's like, "No, we're not. Blah blah blah. That's not policy and all this stuff." And then I was like, "What? I've been doing this for like a long time. That's always been the policy." And then she's like, "No, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "And I'll tell you why." She's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "So if I cancel it through the app, what's going to happen is another driver is just going to get assigned to this order. They're going to come there and find out that there's no order and sit there and waste their time again. And the order's just going to be in the system. This is why, for this situation, anytime it's excessive wait time or the order's not there or anything like that, you're supposed to cancel the order so that the customer gets refunded and nobody else gets called for the order because the order gets taken out of the system. Soon as I say that, and I think she realizes that I'm like wrong. I mean, she's wrong. She hangs up on me. Like I know she hangs up on me because most support people in this situation, they'll call you back. It was like I could hear it in her voice at the time. It was more like she was like upset because that's how it was like talking to me the whole time. So she hangs up on me. So I'm like why would she hang up on me? I wait a little while to see if she's gonna call me back. She doesn't call me back.
Yeah.
So I call back into support. At this point, I tell them what's up, but I also need to talk to a supervisor. Like I'm like, can I please talk to a supervisor? They're like, yeah, okay. I explained the whole situation to them. Then I get asked to talk to a supervisor.
Yeah.
They say I'm gonna transfer you. They transfer me over to a different department. Yo, what's up, big bro? They transfer me over to another department. They then say, no, we're not a supervisor, we're not Uber Eats support, let me transfer you back. Then I talk to another Uber Eats person. This goes back and forth for almost over an hour, right? To when I finally
Mm-hmm.
talk to a person, And they say, yeah, I'll let you talk to a supervisor, explain to me what happened. After I explain to her what happened, she then says, we don't have a supervisor, I can't give you one. At this point, I just want to get the order canceled so I can go home. You know what I mean? So she's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna cancel it for you. And I'm like, okay, you need to cancel it for excessive wait time. She's like,
Yes.
she said something. She goes and she cancels it for something completely different, and it only gives me $3. And is like, no. And I'm like, that's not what you're supposed to cancel it for. I'm supposed to get $5. I've waited almost an hour. She's like, no, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, let me ask you this. Hola. I'm like, let me ask you this. How long have I been waiting at the restaurant? And she's like, she doesn't really want to say it. And I'm like, how long have I been waiting? She's like, over an hour. And I'm like, so what should it have been, um, I mean, what should it have been canceled for? Excessive wait time? Why didn't you cancel it for that? Well, I thought you said something else. You said something about somebody else picking up the order. And I'm like, you were just,
Mm-hmm.
or like, everything's recorded, right? I said I was
Yeah.
recording. You literally said that you called the restaurant and you don't know what's up with the order. So why would you just pick and choose that somebody else picked up the order when we don't know that? You know what I mean? The only
Yes.
thing we know that I've been waiting a long time for the order and it's not ready or it's not there. You know what I mean? So at that point she's like, well, you're gonna need to call back in the morning. I'm like, I'm about to go to sleep. I can't call until the night. So at this point I've just woken up, and that's why I'm calling support now. Because realistically, I'm supposed to get $5, but I'm also supposed
Yeah.
to get a bigger incentive than that. I know when I talk to a supervisor, she's gonna end up giving me more, too. Just also because I had another order that I was going to pick up,
Yeah.
but because of the first person taking a long time and not knowing what they were supposed to do, that order gets canceled
Mm-hmm.
because I can't pick the order up. All right.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, here's what I'm going to do. I get your concern now. So this order happened at the restaurant's name, Queen Steak and Steak. And yes, we're checking here. You actually waited an hour and 22 seconds to be exact. So here's what I'm going to do. You mentioned to me earlier. I'm going to connect you over to a supervisor after this explanation of mine. So you mentioned to me earlier that yesterday the previous rep already provided you tip $3, but you're supposed to receive more than that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'll be placing the call on hold now for a minute or two. I already documented here what happened, and also I will be explaining this one to our supervisor as well, so you don't have to repeat yourself again. So I'll be placing the call on hold for 3 to 5 minutes for me to connect you over to a supervisor. So for this one, I need your patience because I have to tell them everything. Okay.
Okay. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay. I'll be quick and stay on the line. Thank you.
It's really not that complicated. See, the issue is, and it's like I don't care about other people working outside of the country, but it's like I wish I could communicate with Soria or I'm just gonna say Santos, but I don't understand. Like I don't understand. I don't speak fluent Spanish. it I do speak some Spanish, but if I went to like El Salvador, Guatemala, or even Mexico, and I got a job in a place where everybody just speaks Spanish and no English, even if I knew a little bit of Spanish, I would not be able to communicate with them correctly because the way that they say things are differently than how I would say things. So the way that I would say things in Spanish would not sound correctly because I would say them in Spanish but in an English way, and it might come out completely incorrect. So that's the same thing I'm dealing with. When I explain stuff to these people and the English is not their first language, they don't understand exactly what I'm talking about, and they just go with what they think that I hear, and that's what it is. Just like the lady last night, I said, I'm like, I told her, I said, I'm assuming, and what I predict is that maybe somebody else came and picked up the order, and that's why it wasn't here in the system, and that person ended up canceling the order, or something happened to where the order wasn't canceled by Uber, and then I basically got called for the order, right? And I was explaining that to her because of why Uber needs to cancel the order and not me, or not the Uber driver. And she took it as me saying, "Oh, another person picked up the order," and that's what she ran with when that wasn't what I heard. So she's basically just listening to key words, not really understanding and comprehending exactly what I'm talking to her about. Get it? But Uber itself is like the easiest thing ever. It's customers and talking to support. Those are the two worst things. It's really customers that don't tip well, which I don't really deliver to them anyway, right? But it's them and support. And I still deliver to certain customers that don't tip well because I might get a double order, right? I might get an order for like $45, right? But it's two orders. One person basically tipped me $30, right? And then the other person didn't tip me anything, or they might have tipped me $1, right? The person that tipped me 30 something dollars, they live in a house and they come to the car as soon as I get to their location. They get their order. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And the delivery is evil. The person that didn't tip, they live in an apartment complex, right? That has a gate code and all types of stuff. And they don't even tell me any of that, right? I try to contact them or everything. They have me waiting. They contact me as soon as the order's about to be canceled. They proceed to tell me you got to type in this code, then you got to park and walk a mile to get to my building, and then you have to wait there until somebody lets you in. Once they let you in, you have to fight a dragon. Once you slay the dragon, you have to cut open the dragon's stomach and retrieve the key to open the elevator. And then you're gonna have to figure out the code elevator that's gonna let you up to the floor, where then you have to fight zombies until all of them are dead, and then you will gain access to deliver my food. Yo, I'll be right back. Or support people. And I would explain to them the situation, and they like completely different back to me, and it wasn't what the restaurant. And I typed the time in, and I waited over 20 minutes, and they're like, "Oh, so the order wasn't the basically the order was damaged," and I was like, "I didn't say the order was," like, an example of the situation. So at that point, I would be like, "Hey, I need to talk to a supervisor," and that person would say, "Hey, I'll transfer you over to a supervisor." They would transfer me over to a completely different department. Then that person would tell me, "Hey, I'm not a supervisor. I have to transfer you back over to another department that transferred me back to Uber Eats. Then I would talk to that Uber Eats person. They would say that I need to explain to the whole situation again, but I'll put it in the I was trying to explain we're supposed to cancel the order for this type of situation. And the reason why that's supposed to happen is the order is supposed to be taken out of the system, correct? So if I cancel the order, all that's going to happen is the order is going to be assigned to a different driver, right? The order is going to go back out there. Another driver's going to accept it. They're going to drive there, and they're going to have to go through the same thing with, basically the mistake that's already happened. She wasn't his policy. I know, like I've done this a million times. And then I'm like, "What do you want me to tell you why?" And once I explained to her why, her demeanor changed. It was like almost like because I proved to her that I was correct, she got angry and then she hangs up on me. I thought the call may have got disconnected. Usually Uber Eats support, if they get disconnected, they call back. She doesn't call back. This is when I call back, and this is when I talk to a bunch of different people. Then finally, the last support person I talked to after being on the phone for over an hour was this lady that I explained to her I've been there for excessive amount of time. I didn't get the order canceled. They can't find the order in the system or whatnot. And she's like, okay. She tries to call. First she says she's calling them, but she doesn't call. She comes back and she says it's a virtual restaurant. Well, I thought you said it was steak and take. I said yes. I said it was steak and take, but it's a virtual restaurant with a bunch of different restaurants. She's like, oh, now I need to call this number to contact them. Can I put you on hold? She puts me on hold. I'm on hold for like 8 minutes. She comes back. Then that's when she tells me, I'm gonna cancel it. And I'm like, you need to cancel it for excessive wait time, right? She's like, okay. And then she's like, I'll put you on hold. She goes back, she's like, okay, I've canceled it because somebody else picked up the order. I forget what she says. I'm gonna give you $3. And I'm like, what? Was it supposed to be canceled for that? And she's like, oh. And I'm like, how long was I waiting at the restaurant for? She says, an hour. And I'm like, so what was it supposed to be canceled for? Excessive wait time? And she says it. I'm like, you see? And she's like, well, I can't do anything now. You got. And I'm like, well, can I talk to the supervisor? She tells me there is none on duty. That's another thing that I asked her as well. Can I talk to a supervisor? She says, explain to me what happened and then I'll transfer you over. Once I explain to her what happened, then she tells me there is no supervisor on duty. And that's why I know for a fact because I have crew member like I'm a crew. I've been doing this since 2016. There's always a supervisor on duty, but some people won't give me a supervisor, and I usually try to film everything because it's like I could call in and ask to talk to a supervisor, and they won't give me a supervisor. I'll hang up and call back, and then the next person I talk to would be like, "Okay, here's a supervisor," and they'll put me right over to the supervisor, and it's no problem. So it's really about like every person has something else. Like you know what I mean? Everybody has something different that they tell me. And also the other situation is because that other lady took so long to cancel the order, the other order that I needed to pick up got canceled. And I had driven to that location um, to go pick up the order, but I couldn't ever go pick the order up because she wouldn't cancel the order, so I couldn't pick up the order, and then the order gets canceled. So basically, she cost me. I think I would have made $22 with those two orders. If you look at it, that's that like the order that I'm talking about that got canceled is. Hold on, let me see. So the order that was canceled was from Bussin' Tacos. The else was to get $18 for both. Maybe the other
No compensation was being provided, right?
you said what?
Which the compensation provided by the agent, friend. They can provide the compensation regarding this concern, the reason why it was cancelled. Just give me a second. Actually, already looking at the facts you have right now. What was the delivery that concern? This is
Yeah,
about the test waiting time.
and it's also like I have a meeting coming up too with Uber, just to talk to them about a lot of other problems. There's a lot of problems with um like certain people that might live in an apartment complex, and they don't like you can't access their building. But arrive there, they have no instructions on like how to get into their building, right? During the morning time or the afternoon, there could be a concierge there to let you in, but when you deliver late night, there's nobody there. So you arrive there and you text the customer, "Hey, I've arrived." They don't respond back. You call them, they don't pick up. So you sit there and try to contact them for the 8 minutes that you're there to get in, and they never respond. And then basically you end up having to leave the order at their door, and the driver for not doing what they're supposed to do, which is going to affect the driver's record, when really it was the customer's fault. Like, how is a driver going to be able to do its job when the person's not allowing them to do their job, right? So that's really not fair to the matter. And it's the same thing with restaurants. If I arrive at a restaurant and basically the order, I ask for the order and they tell me the order's not ready, and they're like, "Hey, order's gonna be ready in 5 minutes," and I wait 5 minutes, and then I come back and ask them 10 minutes later, "Is the order ready?" They told me 5 minutes, but now they're mad because I keep asking them, "When's the order gonna be ready? When's the order gonna be ready?" And what they're looking at is this person is being like annoying and being unprofessional, when really it's not. I need to contact my customer to let them know, because them taking 30 or extra, me being at the restaurant for 30 or 40 minutes, the customer doesn't look at it as that. They're looking at it as like, I took a long time and I'm doing something wrong. Well, what happened here?
And then, just to make sure that we can correct the concern of this
What happened?
for the certain.
What happened? I'm sorry, sir. What did you say?
And the main concern of this call is about the compensation from the delivery that was cancelled, right? Correct.
Well, it's for that, but I also need to get compensated for the steak and shake delivery as well. Like if you look at that order, I was on that order for over an hour.
Yes, I do see exactly 1 hour.
But both of those, that other order for an hour, and it was something that I couldn't do. Well, it was something that was basically out of my hands. If the support person's like saying they're not going to cancel it, I'm not going to cancel it because I know that when I cancel it, it affects my account, right? And even if they give feedback behind why it was canceled. So if I go and cancel the order now and you write, hey, he canceled the order because this and that, the automated system doesn't see that. So if I get 40 cancellations in a month, out of cancellations, and your account is going to be deactivated. And sometimes they might do it if I get more than that. So then when my account gets deactivated for a high amount of cancellations, I now have to write in and talk to like Uber themselves. And what they're going to do is review my account. And when they review my account, they'll see your notes and everybody else's notes saying, oh, I told them to cancel it for and this reason, but I haven't worked for a week or longer because that's how long it takes for them to review my account, and nobody has time to like not work um, for an issue that's really not my fault. And I think some support people don't understand that. And I'm sorry if I'm talking a lot.
That's okay. It's okay. Okay, Zane, just to inform you, okay, for the compensation, I cannot process the compensation. There's a restriction note that I did see here. We're going to try or process the compensation. I'm about, it will not go through. Because of that restriction note. So this is the thing that we can do. I'll be sending this over to the earnings and team. They're going to process this. Hopefully, me and even for all the supervisors, we can process because even though we try, as I said, it will not go through.
Well, I mean,
The system will not allow it.
well, I mean, and I understand you're saying that, but it's the same like scenario. I just got compensation from a support person last night. Like
Support person is a
no,
different
no,
one.
no. I didn't mean to support. I had compensation from a supervisor last night. Look at my account. I got
I
25.
already saw it.
I know I got $25, right? So
Yes, correct.
that's the same situation. That just like I told you, if I call back in and end up talking to somebody else, they'll give it to me, or they'll know how to give it to me. And this is like another problem. It's like why is there a restriction? There's nothing that I've done. You know what I mean? The reason why there's a restriction is because of the mistake of the support person, right? It's I've had three. You might even see that situation where a support person was supposed to cancel the Uber. What they did is they made it cancel like I canceled it. So usually, if you cancel the order, it's gonna say rider canceled. When I look at the order, it says in my earnings. So basically, what and the only reason why I failed this out is I was like, how much was I supposed to get for this trip? And this is what I had to call in, and I talked to another supervisor about this issue, and they also gave me $25. I believe this happened like 3 days ago.
Uh, yeah, I already informed you. I did know that process. But today, the restriction is right there.
Why is there?
Change payment that has been added to your account. System just detected that you have a lot.
So does that make sense?
Oh, well, definitely it took against your account. Whenever there is being provided to you, there is a review that's being made. So there are compensation that was made to you. So more than a lot more. So system already automatically blocked. the process of making this compensation.
I understand that, but what I'm asking, because just like I told you, I'm filming this right now, um, and I plan on making like a video of this because this is like another thing. This is why Uber Eats drivers and DoorDash drivers have, you know what I mean. A lot of them are going on strike. Like I think Uber Eats is
So
about to go on strike soon. So I'm asking you this question: why is my account being restricted for something that I haven't done? It's not like I'm doing these things. Right? Why am I being punished because of well, I'm actually being punished because of restaurants, right? And support people. Because if the support person last night had canceled the order correctly when I called in, I would have basically gotten the correct amount of money, and I wouldn't have had to call in to try to get an extra compensation. Correct?
excessive compensation. That's the reason why there's a restriction on your account.
All right. So why am I getting the why did I get those compensations? Because of us in doing something they shouldn't have done that cost me more than enough
Oh,
time. Right? So that's something that's out of my hands. It's like I didn't ask for those compensations. Right?
you
Like
didn't ask.
you said what?
You didn't ask. There's no request for additional voluntarily. It
No,
should be
see,
requested by the driver.
no, see, this is what I'm saying. I wish like if I give you my name and you go look at my YouTube videos, right? I get millions of views. You'll see I didn't ask for the compensation. I call in and talk to a supervisor and explain to them the situation. I didn't say, "Hey, give me $25 for this." I just explained to them the situation and say, "This is what happened. This cost me this time." And then the supervisor comes back and say, "Yo, you spent an hour. You were supposed to get this amount. This is messed up. I'm going to give you $15 for this and $10 for that because of what happened." That's what happens, right? And then at
The
that,
reason why you've been transferred because of this additional compensation that was in the information provided. So now that I'm not going to give you compensation. I cannot give you. So instead, I'll be sending this to some other team. They're the one to further this, and then
all right, so I'm gonna hang on him, and I'm gonna call back, and I'm gonna talk to another supervisor. Watch.
Hi, thank you for calling Uber support. Let's get you to the right agent. Para español, presione dos. Please note this call will be recorded for quality and training purposes. I see you currently have an ongoing delivery. If you need help with this order, say yes. Or
Yes.
if you are calling about before I connect you, verification.
September
For
15th,
example,
1984.
sorry, I didn't receive a valid date of birth. Please say the full date with month, day, and year. I got May 15th,
Jared?
1984. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. I didn't understand. What's your date of birth?
Have a good day. Enjoy. 1984. Actually,
Sir. Got September. Please stay on the line, and we will connect you to the next available team member.
Please be aware that we are currently experiencing higher than normal call volume, resulting in longer wait times. You can also reach out to us through the Help Center app. We appreciate your patience.
Thank you for calling our support. My name is Neil. Can I have your full name and date of birth, please?
Yeah, my name is Lane Rolling, and my date of birth is September 15th, 1984.
All right. Thank you for verifying that. So how can I assist you today?
Well, I had an issue, and I needed to talk to a supervisor.
May I know the reason why you want to talk to them so that I can provide them the information?
Yeah, so basically, it was an issue that happened last night, and I had an order that the support person canceled the order for the wrong reason.
What is this order for? For Busin tacos? That's the
Um,
one.
well, it was for, but that was another mistake. So basically, the support person had me on the phone for like over an hour and busted tacos because of the other order that I was still had in my itinerary. Like I still had an active order for the other order, and the order that I had was
Yeah.
for steak and take for Michael H, and it was at a virtual pickup location. And when I arrived at the pickup location, when I typed the number in, the order didn't show up. So I had to sit there and wait until I found somebody to talk to, which was over 20 minutes. So then when I talked to that when I talked to the person that's there, they proceed to tell me they don't see the order either in their system. And she looked up the name as well as the order number. So then I called support. But when I talked to that support person, she told me that I needed to cancel the order and she wouldn't cancel the order for me. And I was trying to tell her that she needed to cancel the order for the order to get out of the system so no other driver gets called for that order because the order is not there. And she ended up hanging up on me. So then I called back, and when I called back, I tried to explain to that support person, and then I also needed to talk to a supervisor about her, like that situation with the first support person hanging up on me and doing something incorrect. And every time they kept trying to transfer me over to a supervisor, they would transfer me over to the wrong department. Then that department would transfer me back to Uber Eats. Uber Eats would end up transferring me back to a different department, and that kept happening until I finally talked to another Uber Eats person that basically says, I'm going to let you talk to a supervisor, explain to me what happened. After I explained to her what happened, she then tells me there is no supervisor or duty that I can talk to. So then after that, I tell her the order needs to be canceled for excessive wait time. She cancels the order for somebody else picked up the order, and she gives me $3 when realistically I was supposed to get $5 because I waited for the order for over an hour.
I see. So, yeah, let me just go ahead and check the details of the order first, okay? So I'm gonna place this phone hold for about a minute, just so please stay on the line. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, regarding this order, I do apologize for the long wait. I already checked all the details and the previous contact here regarding for the previous representative. So regarding on this one, sir, since that this is a food delivery and I'm on the shop and pay, I'm gonna document this one. I'll place here amount on your account. Then I'm gonna transfer you to our food delivery department. Okay. Once I transfer you to our food delivery department, you can ask for a supervisor there. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Please stay on the line while I'm transferring you.
Oh, that's been my day. Ugh. You and I need to talk to a supervisor, please.
Yes, I can connect you over. Was it delivery for food?
Well, it had delivery that I had last night, but when I called in, there was no supervisor on duty because of how late it was. So they told me to call in today.
What's the name of the store, please?
Um, steak and take.
May I know what time
What time the incident happened?
the order?
It was like 4 o'clock in the morning last night.
Do you still remember the name of the customer?
Michael H.
Okay, and may I know what happened on this order?
So basically, when I arrived at the pickup location, in the store, I typed in the code. The code did not show up on like the iPad thing that they have. I waited there for like over 15 minutes for the person to finish like what they were doing in the back. They finally came up there. It was a lady. She basically was like, "Hey, can I help you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying to pick up an order, but I don't see it in the system." She asked me for the code. She types the code in, doesn't find it. Then she also looks up the name. She can't find it. So then I immediately call support. I'm on the phone with support. I let her know it was a lady that I talked to as well. Let her know what happened. She then looks into it, but when she looks into it, um, she basically can't find the order either. She tries to call the place, and they don't order. I told her that I can't cancel the order. Um, I can't cancel the order because the order needs to be completely out of the system because the order that like is not in the system, and that's why you need to. She hangs up on me. I try to call back and talk to another support person, but then I also wanted to talk to a supervisor. There, they keep they kept transferring me over to different people, but I never got to talk to a supervisor. The last support person that I talked to was like, "Hey, I'll put you over to a support person. Explain to me what the issue was." I explained to her what the issue is, but after I explained to her, she was like, "Hey, there is no supervisor on duty." So I was like, "Why would you tell me that if there's no supervisor on duty?" But at that point, she said that she's going to cancel the order for me. Um, but she has to contact them first. So she contacts them and everything. And then when she came back, she was supposed to cancel the order for excessive wait time. But what she cancels it for is maybe she said restaurant closed. It was either restaurant closed or order was given to somebody else when we don't know what that was. The only thing that we knew is that I've been waiting for the order for way too long. Um, so she cancels it for that. So I end up getting a $3 miscellaneous fee when I was really supposed to have gotten $5 because I waited there for over 20 minutes. It was actually an hour. It. Hello, can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Already?
The I had picked up order for from like wines and something. This was like one of my first orders, and I tried to take it to a customer, and the customer's address I couldn't find. So I tried to contact the customer, and they basically would not answer the phone at first. When the timer was almost up, the person called me. But when they called me and they were like yelling and cussing me out and saying all these things, right? When I told him to not talk to me like that, he kind of calmed down. But he was not explaining to me where the location was. I delivered in Washington, D.C., right? It's like a city with a lot of one-way streets. So he tells me to come back to this one street, and he tells me that his place is behind two churches. So I drive to that street, but when I came over there, I've already spent 15 minutes trying to look for his location and contact him. The timer's already up. I can cancel the order, right? So I asked him, "Can you meet me at the church?" Because he's telling me now I have to go past the church and walk through some alley and then come over, and that's where his building is. It's not accessible for me to get there with my car. And I'm like, "Well, can you just meet me there?" He's telling me, "No, I can't meet you there because I don't have shoes on. And it's cold outside." So I was like, "Well, what I'll do is since the timer's up and you didn't answer, I'll cancel the order and take it back." At that point, he says, "I'll get you fired. Blah blah blah. You better bring me my blah 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 and all this stuff." I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna cancel. If you want me to bring it, I'll meet you." So then he's like, "I'll meet you at the courtyard that's behind the church." So I say, "Okay." I walk over to meet him. He doesn't show up for another 10 minutes. When he shows up, he's already yelling at me, and he comes over and grabs the bag out of my hand and walks away. I'm like, hey, stop. I need to verify your ID. He doesn't do that. So I have to follow him over almost to his place and basically threaten him to say that I'm going to call the police if he doesn't let me see his ID. So then he gives me his ID. I basically take the photo and come back to the car, right? I spent almost an hour dropping off that order after the fact. Then I had another order that I got that I picked up, which was alcohol, and it was another alcohol order, and I drove maybe 20. It was like 25 minutes away, and as soon as I got to the person's house, they canceled the order. So then I ended up having to drive 25 minutes back to the store for the store to be closed, right? That's what I talked to the supervisor for. That's why I was given $25 for those two issues. You can clearly see when they gave me that money. This situation happened hours after that situation.
For that one, there's already a $3 for this order
And
as
I
well.
just and I just
And
explained, and that's why I wanted to talk to a supervisor, because I just explained to you. Let me ask you this question: If a driver is 25 minutes at a location, and the order is canceled for excessive wait time, how much compensation would the customer would the driver get?
it depends if how much of the that the system will provide.
I understand that, but you should know this. If a customer waits, I mean, a driver waits over 20 minutes for an order, what would the
So that's
compensation?
actually we encourage drivers not to wait for more than 10 to 15 minutes for an order, because if they waited more than that um, time frame, um,
Y'all hear this?
the amount that the system will provide is only for $3. And if the issue is the order was already picked up by someone else, even though you waited more than 20 minutes, the system generated amount will only apply $3.
All right, so that's all right. And when that happens, the person is supposed to call in to get the order canceled. Correct?
Yes.
That's what you're supposed to do. So that's exactly what I did. And we never found out if the order was given to somebody else. So you can't mark it as given to somebody else unless you know it was given to somebody else. I explained that to you as well. So how long?
You can actually call. You can actually call over support and let us know that you waited already more than 10 minutes and you don't know if the order was
Okay,
received or no.
okay. I'm gonna say, how long was I on the phone last night with support with that order? Can you look that up real quick?
I cannot see those information.
All right, just like I told you, I had already called support. I called support after 15 minutes. Just like I told you, the reason why I waited 15 minutes is because I was waiting to talk to the person that was in the back, right? That's the reason why I waited over 10 minutes. I've been doing this for a long time. I know that. Even at 10 minutes, a driver can't just cancel the order for waiting 10 minutes. You can't do that. If I go into my app and cancel it because I've waited 10 minutes, it's not going to give me a $3 compensation. It's just gonna cancel it for excessive wait time, and I'm gonna then have to call in to support to get them to give me the $3. And in some cases, support's not gonna give me the $3 at all, because when I cancel it before I let anybody know, the order just gets taken out of my itinerary, and there's no evidence of the order, right? So that's not the situation that happened. I called in after 15 minutes, and the person had me on hold to cancel the order. But when she came back on, she was trying to tell me to cancel the order, right? What would happen if I canceled the order? I have
So
to.
for this one, let me look for an available supervisor and just letting you know that there is a high call volume right now, so
No,
please
no, I know. But I want to ask you.
transfer your
I
call.
want to ask you this question just to see if you know. If I cancel the order, what happens to the order?
It will reassign to another driver.
Okay, so would it make sense for me when the order? I've been waiting 20 minutes, and we don't know where the order is. for me to cancel the order, for it to get assigned to another driver, for that driver to then come there and have to deal with the same thing, and the customer see that their order has been out for almost 2 hours and been assigned to two drivers. No, it doesn't make sense. What I did made sense, right? And that's what I was trying to explain to that support person. And when I explained it to her, she got angry with me and hung up. I've done this a million times. I've done like close to 7,000 deliveries. You know what I mean? It's not like this is like I've been doing this for like a week or two. I've done 7,000 deliveries. I do this every day for 10 hours sometimes, right? I know
Yes, we understand your reason. However, we do have a process that we are following as well.
that wasn't the
So if
that
you
wasn't the that was not the process. What the person did was not following the process. What happens is a lot of y'all don't actually understand the process or understand what the person is trying to relay to you. So you go with whatever you think the person is talking about. Just like last night, the reason why she canceled it because of the situation. It should have been canceled for excessive wait time because I had had the order for over an hour. But what she did is she canceled it for another person picking the order up when really that wasn't the issue. So now you think that that's the reason what happened, but that wasn't an issue. It was excessive wait time because the just like I told her and before, the other lady was gonna make the order again for me, but it was gonna take another 30 or 40 minutes, right? And I don't think I even told this. I had already talked to the customer, and they were like, "No, it's too late." Right? So this is when I call and I try to report the whole thing to be like, hey, I've waited over 20 minutes. It's excessive wait time. They don't know where the order is. It's not ready yet. The order needs to be canceled. But the person wouldn't do that because just like how I'm talking to you, they're going off. They're not really listening to what I'm saying. They're just going off for what you want to do. And that's the reason why I got the $25 last night and I got it the night before because the same situation happened. I had another um, I forget what the situation is, but I arrived at a restaurant, and the restaurant, the what is something happened. I forget what the situation happened, but the person. Oh, let me see. I can't remember what happened, but the support person was supposed to have like canceled it on Uber's behalf. What was it? The order was damaged. Hold on. Let me think. It could have been the restaurant was closed or something. Oh, now she fucking hangs up on me. Let's see if she calls me back.
Hi, thank you for calling Uber support. Please note this call will be recorded for quality and training purposes. It looks like you have a question about your current live order. Is that correct? Please say yes or no.
No.
Now, please tell me how I can help you today. You can say things like, what happened with cancellation fee? I'm not getting trip requests.
I need to talk to
Agent. To better assist you,
Yes.
please help me understand why you're calling today.
Trip.
What type of trip issue are you calling about? You can say things like, missing trip, question about a recent fare, or cancellation fee refund. To hear that again,
Recent trip.
what type of trip issue are you calling about? You can say things like, missing trip, or question about a recent fare. To hear that again, say, repeat it.
Question about a recent fare.
Sorry, what type of trip issue are you calling about? You can say things like missing trip or question about a recent fare.
Missing trip.
I understand you are calling about missing trip. Is the trip completely missing from your earnings entity? Or you can cancel your trip, but just have the total amount for a missing trip?
Missing
If you have your club card, 13. If the trip is in your dashboard, scan it now. I'm here to help. In a few cards, describe your issue. You can say things like, question about a promotion.
How you doing, sir? Doing fine. Question about. Yes, sir.
I think you are calling to inquire about promotional earnings. Is that correct? You're calling about promotional earnings. Yes.
Oh no, I was talking to a friend. I'm sorry. It's cool.
I think you are calling to call for Uber. Is that correct?
Yes.
Otherwise, say no.
Yes.
5%. Please wait. System process. Making these calls. The agents on this line are unable to assist you. Don't just grab for Don't send this message again. Just say, repeat it. Is there anything else I can help you today? You hit the message again. Just say, repeat it. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
Yo, this is so weird. I literally just had it. Should I drop it somewhere?
Unable to process your payment. Please try again or press help.
I have a question. Is there any way I can look I might have dropped my card in here. I thought I just had it.
Okay. Let me get the supervisor.
Okay. I think I might have dropped my card in here.
If you have your plug card, please scan it now. Scan items one at a time, placing them in the bagging area after you scan. Items without barcodes, touch the quick lookup button.
Pretty sure it is. Nope. Is there a black card somewhere?
No, not in here.
That's so weird. I could have swore I just had it because I'm doing like a Uber Eats, and I pulled the card out, and then I couldn't. It like disappeared.
There's nothing in there.
Right, thank you.
Check. 1 second. Go ahead and move that.
Well, if you have your club card, please scan it now. Scan items one at a time, placing them in the bagging area after each scan. For items without barcodes, touch the quick lookup button.
No, that's not it. Think about it.
Well, if you have your club card, please scan it now. Scan items one at a time, placing them in the bagging area after each scan.
You said it's Uber?
Yeah, it's a Uber Eats order. They give us like a plus card.
Yeah. You might be able to add that to like
My phone? That's
your
a-
phone. Because I know I did DoorDash for a little bit. They had an option where you could just add the card straight to your phone from the app. So let's try looking into that.
Thank you for your help. Can you hold this? I'm gonna go check my car real quick. Maybe I dropped it in there.
Okay, so you want me to hold on?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can cancel it off of here. Let's play. I'll be back regardless. Thank you. Yeah, I can't find it. Yeah, I can't find it. So, I guess, I can leave that here, right?
Yes, sir. Is this your turn?
What we found underneath.
Okay.
Leave it that out of the way. Thank you for your. Fucking sucks.
Hi, thank you for calling Uber support. Please note this call will be recorded for quality and training purposes. It looks like you have a question about your current live order. Is that correct? Please say yes or no. Sorry, I did not get your response. Please say yes or no.
Yes.
Before I connect you, please say your date of birth for verification. For example, say January 1st, 1975.
January.
I didn't
September
understand.
15th,
For
1984.
Got it. September 15th, 1984. Please stay on the line, and we will connect you to the next available team member.
Please be aware that we are currently experiencing higher than normal call volume, resulting in longer wait times. You can also reach out to us through the help section of the Uber app. We appreciate your patience. Please be aware that we are currently experiencing higher than normal call volume, resulting in longer wait times. You can also reach out to us through the help section of the Uber app. We appreciate your patience.
Hello, this is Sophia from Uber Eats Support. Name your name.
Lane.
Thank you. And right now, because I'm still waiting for my resources to pull up your account, can you tell me what happened, Lane? How may I help?
Yeah, so
Okay. Can
basically last night, I had a situation where I picked up an order, and so basically I was going to pick up an order, but when I arrived at the pickup location, it was it was like a virtual pickup location. You know what I mean? So when I picked up at the virtual pickup location, basically the code that I was supposed to put in was not working correctly, right? And nothing would come up. So I waited there for roughly like 15 minutes, and then finally a person in the like that was working there came out, and I let them know. They proceeded to look up the code, and they couldn't find the code either. Um, yeah, they couldn't find the code either. Um, So then that person looked up the name. They couldn't find the name either. So at this point, 20 minutes has passed. I then call support and I let them know that I've waited there for over 20 minutes and the person doesn't know where the order is or whatnot. And like we don't know what to do. You feel what I'm saying? And at that point, I contacted the customer. The customer told me that they just kind of wanted the order canceled because it had been too long. So then I tell her to cancel it for excessive wait time. She then says that she needs to contact the restaurant and find out all information, right? I was on the phone with her for maybe 15 minutes. Then she comes back on and tells me that I need to cancel the order. I tell her I shouldn't cancel the order because it's like it's excessive wait time. Plus the order is not there, and like it shouldn't be made again, right? And it's not going to be made again. So the order needs to be canceled out of the system, and that is why support needs to cancel it, not me. Because if I cancel it, what's going to happen? The order is going to get back in the system, and another driver is going to get the order, and then having to come back and dealing with the whole process all over again.
Okay. Well, thank you for letting me know, Lane, and I'm so sorry to hear about the experience. No worries. I'll be more than glad to check up on what we can do here with our supervisor's line. Can you tell me what happened with the order? Who ended up canceling it?
It was Michael who canceled it, but it was mainly because, like, he canceled it because you know what I mean. The order took too long.
When you mentioned Michael, are we referring to the customer?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, okay. So, yeah, since the order has been successfully removed by the customer, I would like to confirm why we would like to speak to a supervisor, Lane. Is it in regards with the experience you had with our teams, or was it with
It
the
was, but
conversation?
it wasn't removed by Michael. Michael just let me know that because he was like, "What's up with the order?" And I was like, "I'm still up here waiting." And he's like, "I've been." He was basically saying that he had been waiting on it a long time, and I'm like, they don't have the order in the system. The lady told me she could make it again, but it was gonna take her like 30 minutes, right? So this is why I was trying to get support to cancel it. So when I tell her that she needs to cancel it, she doesn't cancel it. She hangs up on me, right? So then I call support back, and this is when I asked to talk to a supervisor. And each person was like, "Hey, just like how you were, I need you to explain to me the situation, and then I'll transfer you over to support." Each person that did that, they kept transferring me to different people, not support. They would transfer me over to Priority. Priority would transfer me back to Uber Eats. Then that Uber Eats person would be like, "Explain it to me. I'll give you a supervisor." Then they kept doing that. That went on for like an hour. Then I finally talked to a person. I explained to her the situation. She then does the same thing. She tries to call the restaurant, comes back on, and she says, "I'm gonna cancel it because the order was another person picked up the order." And I'm like, "That's not why the order should be canceled. It should be canceled for excessive wait time." And she's like, "Okay, but she doesn't cancel it for that. She cancels it for it looked like I arrived at the restaurant and I just like somebody else picked it up instead of me showing like instead of me getting the $5 that I should have gotten for excessive wait time for waiting over 20 minutes."
So while you're explaining to me what happened from yesterday, I was also able to pull up the details of the conversation you had with the previous representative, and I'm seeing here that you were able to be connected to one of our supervisors teams from yesterday.
That was for a different whole. That was for a different situation.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, if that's the case, I would like to confirm when you mentioned the order for Michael, are we talking about the order from Queen's Steak and Take?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so yeah, since I do see here the details of the order here on my end, then let me go ahead and reach out to an available supervisor for you to check with them what else we can do in regards with the order, since it was canceled for the reason of being picked up by someone else instead of excessive wait time of what you did, and yeah, the compensations are different. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're most welcome. So right now, Lane, all I need you to do is to just stay on the line for me, so I'll be the one to explain to my supervisor what happened, and I'll get back to you shortly, okay? Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, pass it. Yeah.
Hi, thank you so much for staying on the line for me. So I have here my supervisor, Raven Watas. I already told her everything that has happened, and she will be the one to assist you further, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Most welcome. Raven, you can go ahead and take over. Thank you.
Hi, have a good day. This is Supervisor Regan. Over the phone. I'm speaking with Lean Lawrence Jr.
Yes.
So I heard what happened for this delivery. The master was working already delivered. Most of the has been put essentially like they're no longer able to receive to respond to the balance. But moving forward, I know that you have plenty of effort and time to consume your gas. It's particularly busy. So this is not your fault since the order was already picked up by someone else.
Well, actually, hold on.
So
The order wasn't picked up by somebody else. We don't know what happened with the order. Um, I'll rather explain this to you. So, when I arrived, it was a virtual pickup, right? And that's where there's like a bunch of different restaurants all in one building. So when I got there and I typed in the code, nothing showed up at all. So I waited like working in that virtual store, and she's asked me, "Do you need help?" I'm like, "Yeah." I typed in the code, but nothing's showing up. She's like, "What's the code?" I give her the code. She types it in. She says, "I don't see anything." She asked for the customer's name. I give her that. She still couldn't find it. She told me that there was a problem with them getting orders from Uber Eats that night. So at that point, she's still trying to figure it out and she doesn't really know what to do. 20 minutes has passed now. The customer also reached out to me and was like, "Hey, what's up with the order?" I'm like, "Well, I'm here. I don't know if the order is gonna be able to be picked up because they can't find it in the." So I've been waiting. It's pretty late. He was like, "If you have to, just cancel it because I've been waiting too long." And I told him I'll try to figure it out. If not, the order will be canceled and you'll be refunded. So at that point, I called support. I talked to the lady on support. I explained to her the situation. She puts me on hold. I'm on. When she finally got back on for the last time after calling the trying to call the restaurant, she tells me that I need to cancel the order. And the policy. And she's like, "No, that's what you're supposed to do. You have to cancel it." I'm not canceling it. You need to cancel it. I'm like, "I can't. I shouldn't cancel it." And I'm like, um, and I'll tell you why. And then she's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "The reason why is if I cancel it, the order's gonna stay in the system, and another driver's gonna get the order. They're gonna come here and have to deal with the same thing again. This is why you're supposed to cancel it for excessive wait time, so the order gets completely out of the system. The customer gets refunded the money. I get my miscellaneous fee, and everybody's happy." She didn't want to do that, and then she hangs up on me. After that, I try to call back to support, and I tell them that I need to talk to a supervisor. They said, "You need to tell me what happened and then I'll transfer you over." I tell them what happened. They transfer me over, but it wasn't to a supervisor. It was to priority support. Their priority support's like, "We don't handle this." They ask me what happened. I tell them that they're like, "We don't handle that. You need to talk to Uber Eats support." They transfer me back to Uber Eats. So that goes on for an hour. I talked to maybe 15 people. I talked to a lot of people. Finally, I talked to a lady, the last person I talked to, who basically marked it as somebody picked up. I explained to her the same situation as you, and just having a conversation with her, I said, "This might have happened. Maybe another driver came there and picked the order up. Something happened with them. They had to cancel the order, and then now I'm getting like the same thing could happen. The driver's like, "Hey, I can't deliver the food or whatnot." He calls support. Instead of support canceling the order, they tell him to cancel the order. He cancels it. I get called for the order, and then now I have to show up, right? But I'm explaining that to her as telling her why I was even telling the first person that Uber Eats support needs to cancel it, not the driver. So she hears that. She says, I have to put you on hold. She puts me on hold, comes back, and she says, I've canceled the order as somebody's picked up. And I'm like, no, it's supposed to be for excessive wait time. She's like, no, that's not what you were saying. I'm like, yeah, how long have I been on this order for? And she goes over an hour. And I'm like, so what should the order have been canceled for? Excessive wait time? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, I can't do nothing about it. I'm like, well, I need to talk to a supervisor tonight. This needs to be fixed because I don't want to, like, I was already up. I worked from 7 p.m. till 5 o'clock in the morning yesterday. I'm like, I can't stay up anymore. I'm ready to go to sleep. She's like, well, you're gonna have to call back tomorrow. So that's what happened. I got off the phone with her, and when as soon as I woke up and started doing Uber Eats, I called in, and this is when now I'm talking to you.
Yes. I do apologize for such news, but I'll take a look at that and I will check on that for well. This will not be.
Also, hold on. There's one other thing that I say. I had another order too that was for bussin tacos, right? That I was supposed to go pick up, but I couldn't pick up that order because the support person wouldn't cancel the order that I had from Steak and Take. So that order then got canceled, and I had already driven to that restaurant, but I could not pick the order up because I could not like show them the order to pick up. So then the order gets canceled, but I still should get some type of compensation for going to that restaurant as well. And you can see that in my account as well.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Okay, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, I'm sorry. You said you gave me a what?
I give you an inconvenience fee of $20 for the week.
Thank you so much.
I will make sure that we will be escalating this subject, and then we will check those multiple sensors that we have, so that we'll be able to answer those questions. And once again, we take feedback very seriously. And thank you so much for bringing this to my attention now, okay?
Okay, hold on, real quick. Hold on. Let me check to see if I got it.
Okay.
Well, maybe I have to. I haven't gotten it. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice night. Hello.
Hi, thank you for calling Uber support. Let's get you to the right agent.
Para español, presione dos.
Note this call will be recorded for quality and training purposes. I see you currently have an ongoing delivery. If you need help with this order, say yes. Or if you are calling about something else, say no.
Yes.
In a few words, how can I help you with your current order? You can say things like, the store is closed, or the order was already picked up by someone else.
Store closed.
I think you're calling about a closed store, is that correct?
Yes.
Before I connect you, please say your date of birth for verification. For example, say January 1st, 1975.
September 15th, 1984.
Sorry, I didn't receive a valid date of birth. Please say the full date with month. September 15th, 1984. Please stay on the line, and we will connect you to the next available team member.
Please be aware that we are currently experiencing higher than normal call volume, resulting in longer wait times. You can also reach out to us through the help section of the Uber app. We appreciate your patience.
Hi, thank you for calling Uber support. Let's get you to the right agent.
Para español, presione dos.
Please note this call will be recorded for quality and training purposes. I see you currently have an ongoing delivery. If you need help with this order, say yes. Or if you are calling about something else, say no. I see you currently have an ongoing delivery. If you need help with this order, say yes. Or if you are calling about something else, say no.
Yes.
In a few words, how can I help you with your current order? You can say things like, problem with customer's address, or order is missing item. I didn't hear you. In your own words,
Problem with
describe
customer's
why you're
address.
calling. I think you're calling about the customer's address, is that correct?
Yes.
I accidentally completed an order. Address is too far. Customer changed the address. Or it is something else.
Accidentally completed the order.
Please say your date of birth for verification. For example, say January 1st, 1975. For verification, what's your date of birth? Got it. September 15th, 1984. Please stay on the line, and we will connect you to the next available team member.
Please be aware that we are currently experiencing higher than normal call volume, resulting in longer wait times. You can also reach out to us through the help section of the Uber app. We appreciate your patience.
Hi, welcome to Uber Support. This is Apple. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Yourself?
I'm doing good as well, sir. Thank you for asking. How can I help you?
Yeah. So basically, I was just on the phone with a supervisor. The phone call got disconnected
And may I know, sir, why you wanted to? Are you following up again, sir, to speak to one of our available supervisor?
Yes.
May I know, sir, the reason why you wanted to speak to them, sir, so that they can relay the issue to the supervisor?
Yeah, it was over a trip
Mhm.
that happened last night, and the support person canceled it incorrectly. So I need all of that to be rectified.
By any chance, sir, do you still remember that delivery, sir, so that I can pull up here?
Um, if you're looking for it, is Steak and Shake.
They can shake. Okay, hold on. And the reason, sir, why that delivery was mistakenly been canceled?
Because the person didn't know what they were doing. You mean why did
Okay,
they
just a
cancel
second.
it?
Mhm.
Yeah, because they didn't know what they were doing.
But do you have any issues while you before that order was being canceled, sir? That you're trying to report?
The issue was for excessive wait time. They canceled it
Mm-hmm.
for something completely different.
Okay, so do you have your order number by any chance?
No,
Okay, let me just try to look up on that delivery, sir. When was the time, sir, that you reported the issue so that I can pull up here the conversation that you had with the representative?
it was like 4 o'clock in the morning this morning, 4 a.m. this.
Oh, okay, sir. Hold on. Let me just check that one for a moment, sir.
And I was just on the phone with Uber support like 2 minutes ago.
Okay, let me just check that one as well, sir. Sir, because I'm having some latency here in my tools, but I'll be looking for available supervisor for you. Nothing to worry, okay? Okay, isn't it the one for Queen Steak and Take? Hello, sir.
Maybe.
Yes, since you've mentioned that it is from Steak something,
That
so
is
maybe
that is
since
it.
I
That is it.
okay.
And the way that the order is even set up, like where it's canceled, that's not the time that I had that order. So that order should be after the meltdown, right? Because I had that order and also busted tacos, right? That was a double order. So Queen Steak and Shake and busted tacos was like I accepted Queen Steak and Shake first, and then I got busted tacos added to my delivery. But for some reason, it's showing that I accepted that at 2:45. But before that, I had taken a Denny's order, which is actually the meltdown. But the meltdown is at Denny's, right? So Denny's is the meltdown. So I dropped that order off. After I dropped that order off, I got the order for Queen Steak and Take, and then I got the order for busted tacos. And if you see here, it says you canceled the order for me. It says on my support was supposed to cancel it. And supposed to cancel it is for one, just like I had told, which is already documented. When I arrived, it's like a virtual store. I have to type in the order number, right? When I typed the order number in, nothing came up. So I waited 15 minutes to talk to the person in the back. When she came out, she asked me if I needed help. I said yes. I said, I don't see the order number here. So I gave her order number. She tried to look it up. She couldn't find the order, right? So then she looks up the name of the customer. She can't find the name of the customer, right? So by that point, it's been like 20 minutes, right? So I was already ready. I was about to cancel the order, but before that, the customer reached out. It was like, "What's up with the order? Like, what's the ETA?" And I told him the situation, and he told me because his name was Michael H. If it's too much, I've already waited too long. Just get the order. You can cancel the order. So I was gonna get it canceled as excessive wait time, right? Because we don't know what the order is. The lady didn't say somebody else picked it up, but she also informed me that there was a problem with them receiving Uber Eats orders at night. Like other drivers showed up with an order, but their system didn't have the order. You know what I mean? So it could have been a system like that. Like Uber Eats, they take the order, but Queen Steak and Shake never got the order to make it at all. It never got sent to their system. So the customer thinks that they have their order. I get called for the order, but Queen Steak and Shake never got the order for her to even start making it. She told me she would make it, but it was going to take like another 30 minutes because she had other orders that she needed to do before that order. So I called support. I let this person know everything. She took another 20 minutes, and when she got back on, she told me, "You need to cancel the order." And I said, "No, I can't cancel the order because if I cancel it, what's going to happen is another driver is going to get assigned the delivery. This order needs to be canceled out of the system all the way." When I tell her that, she hangs up on me. So then I call back because she was being like kind of difficult to begin with the whole conversation. So I call back, and at this point, I'm like, I want to talk to a supervisor. So every person is like kind of how like you're asking me, can you explain to me the situation so I can tell the supervisor? I tell them the situation. They basically say they're going to transfer me over to the supervisor, but they don't. They end up transferring me over to like a different department or another Uber Eats person, and they keep doing that back and forth until I finally talk to the last support person I talked to. I think her name was like Ann or something. I have it on film, but I talked to her and I explained to her the exact situation, and she's telling me, "Yeah, you're gonna be out. I'll put you as a supervisor." Then after I tell her the situation, she says, I can't give you a supervisor. We don't have any supervisors on the floor right now." And I'm like, "What? You just said if I tell you what's up, you would give me a supervisor." So she tells me, "I'm gonna handle it for you. Hold on a second." She calls. She says she's gonna make a phone call. When she comes back on, she says, "I canceled the order as somebody else picked up on your behalf." And I was like, "What?" And then I look at the order, and it shows that I canceled the order for something that I didn't even tell her to do. So basically, what she did is she went into my account and canceled an order for me without my permission for the wrong thing. So that's like a really big thing of why I need to talk to a supervisor, because if the way that it looks like on my account is last night I canceled this order when I didn't cancel the order. The support person canceled the order.
All right, sir. Thank you for yes, sir. Thank you for that information, sir, that you've given to me. I do really understand now, sir. The
Facing with that delivery. So no worries, sir. I'll go ahead and relay everything that you've mentioned to me to one of our available supervisor. And since I already pulled up the trip that you had for Michael H. from Queen's Take and Take. So for this one, sir, since right now we're unable to provide you any type of compensation for this, but since you're requesting to speak to one of our available supervisor for the time, for the compensation that you need to receive for the time that you've spent trying to resolve this matter and trying to pick up this delivery as well. So I will not take too much of your time, sir. Let me just go ahead and please allow me, sir, to place the call on hold for just a 3 to 5 minutes, sir, that I'll be looking for available supervisor for you to inform them about these issues. And then once I found an available supervisor, I'll get back to you, sir, to introduce you to them, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you said stay on the line, sir. I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Thank you.
What the freak am I at?
The multicolored meal starts out as
What sounds great?
No, I'm just driving home now. Hopefully, I can find a gas station.
Testing at 10,000.
If you're someone.
Oh, no.
Hi, Laurie, it's Jeff.
There you go. I just found a music. Medium vanilla cone. Oh, that must be chocolate. Oh, okay.
Oh!
Medium vanilla cone. Oh, that must be chocolate. Oh, okay. Medium vanilla cone. Oh, that must be chocolate. Oh, okay. Medium vanilla cone. Oh, that must be chocolate. Oh, okay. Medium vanilla cone. Oh, that must be chocolate. Medium
Then
vanilla
I'm heading
cone. Oh,
home.
that must be chocolate. Oh, okay. Medium vanilla cone. Oh, that must be chocolate. Oh, okay. Medium vanilla cone. Oh, that must be chocolate. Medium vanilla cone. Oh.
Watch this.
I have been married for 51 years. Got 2 sons, 42.
Watch this.
I have been married. Needed to take a test, see if any of us had a kidney good enough for my brother.
Watch this.
I have been married for 51 years.
Watch this.
I have been married for 51 years. Got two.
That your man leaves both off. I need her like a nun. Kinda hundred top with my thumb. I don't care where you from. Better beat this like a drum.